I'm live. Hello. Hey everyone, it's Drew Amborski coming to you live from Houston, Texas. And today is Thursday, April 19th. This is my fourth live stream episode. I'm very excited. Yesterday was fun because I did a live stream from IKEA. Hey, Ohio, it's good to see you, KB. How you doing? It's really beautiful here. I don't know what Ohio's like now. I heard it's not spring yet. But if you tuned in yesterday, you got to see my good friend Cheryl, who lives here in the Houston area. And we went on a little excursion at IKEA, and that was fun. Oh, look, more people showed up. Oh, you're in the 40s. 40s in Ohio. That means everything's melting finally, right? Heck, in Ohio, isn't 40 short sleeve weather? You're breaking out the flip-flops at this point. I'm not laughing at you. I'm empathetic because I used to live in Michigan, as you know. I actually remember in Michigan, when it got in the 50s, we got out our short sleeve shirts because it feels so warm after a long winter. Anywho, if you'd like to be notified of future live videos, be sure to subscribe and hit the little notification button. That's the only way for you to be notified when a YouTube person goes live. So make sure you hit that little notification button. Kristen, my friend Kristen Omdahl, who does a live stream, told me that it actually works if you click that button. You do get notified. Hey, Teresa. Teresa's in New York, and she asked me the other day what it's like to live in Houston. And let me tell you, Houston's like this hidden gem. I never knew it. I really didn't know anything about it before I moved here. I lived in Dallas at the time when I was thinking about moving here. And Dallas's weather is kind of harsh, so I was worried about coming further south. But what I found out when I got here is we're so close to the Gulf of Mexico that the ocean and the breeze coming off the ocean tempers the weather. And if you like summertime, it's summertime for about 6 months, from May through October. And if you like springtime, it's springtime from October to May. So while everyone's getting snow, we're usually 70s and sunny with no humidity in the winter. So that's why we all have pools. We get in the pool in the winter because it's nice out. Every once in a while we'll have a day or two of winter. This last year we actually got snow. And if you follow me on social media, you know I have a banana in my backyard. It's actually a grove. And yes, KB, we got snow this year and it killed off my banana grove. But luckily, because it only freezes like for 10 minutes, it kills off whatever vegetation is alive on, above the ground. But you just chop it all back and it comes back from the tubers. So my bananas are all about 6 feet tall again back there. Unfortunately, it takes something like 400 days without freezing to produce fruit. So if it freezes again this year, I won't get fruit this year. But last year I got so much fruit, I was giving away bunches of bananas. And I made a big batch of banana bread to give to all the neighbors, and everybody was like, here, take my banana and put it in your freezer, because we just had too many of them. But last year, because of the freeze, I didn't get very much, so that was unfortunate. But Houston has a thriving arts community. We have professional opera, symphony. We have like Broadway shows come to town. We also have a professional musical theater group here. We also have a huge museum district with a natural science and fine art museum. Houston's thriving. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful place to be. And last year we were honored by, I don't remember what organization, and we were honored as the most diverse city in the United States. And that's apparent no matter where you go in the city. You just have this international vibe, which I really like. And if you like to eat, which I obviously like to eat a lot, you can get every type of food here. It's pretty amazing. And Uber Eats Unfortunately, delivers it all. So it's like having room service in the house from around the world. But I love it in Houston. The economy's thriving. We're doing real well here. It's green all the time. I don't have to worry about snow. Because when it does snow, you just stay home for 2 or 3 hours and then it's done. Anyway, and we're about my house. I'm on the north side of downtown here. You know, it's a pretty big city. We have 4 million people in the city limits, and it's about 8 million when you put on all the suburbs. So it's a pretty big metropolis. It takes me 45 minutes to get to the beach, and that's on Galveston Island. So it's beautiful down there. I usually spend my birthday weekend down there because it's so close, and it's just gorgeous. It's just endless beaches down there. Leslie says she's been to Austin and it's fun. Austin is so much fun. I mean, it is fun. You know, the people there, they like to be unusual and weird, you know, and edgy, and you know, it's it's got a thriving nightlife. Austin's fantastic. Everybody loves it there. I know they're having a slight traffic problem. Not to bring up a negative, but if you don't like to sit in traffic a lot, I've heard it's kind of a tough town to live in. But if you go there for an event, have lots of events there, it's so much fun. And it's out in a really beautiful part of Texas. There's, you know, rivers and woods, and it's just gorgeous out there. So if you have a ton of money, you could go live there. But I don't, so I live in the city of Houston where I can afford it. So that was Teresa's question. And then yesterday, if you saw the show yesterday, I was at IKEA with Cheryl Means from the website thewoolenhook.com. And Cheryl's a very good friend of mine. We get together every month and strategize on how we can save the world. We're obviously doing a great job. But yesterday we were at IKEA because I've cleaned up my studio quite a bit. I purged a lot. And I want to set up a filming studio for doing demos in here that's a little more minimalistic feeling. So we went to IKEA because, you know, they got that whole minimalistic feel to it. And coincidentally, Cheryl is adopting a more minimalistic lifestyle that she's documenting and going to put on YouTube. I'm very excited about watching her personal journey. So of course IKEA is a great place to look. But somebody a while ago, and I looked for the comment, I couldn't find the person's name, I'm sorry, so if it was you, just shout it out. But the person asked, how do you get started with organizing, or any organizing tips? And being at IKEA yesterday, which is full of organizational solutions, you know, it kind of jogged my memory about that question the other day. And this is my opinion. This is my personal opinion about organization is, and I have a blog post about this at captainhousekeeper.com. If you go there, it's I'll put the link in the description later on. But essentially, if you want to start anywhere in any room, clear off the counters. If you just clear off the counters in a room, whether it's your bathroom or your kitchen, it creates an atmosphere of organization, and it really motivates you to really keep going. So if you have a kitchen counter that's covered with stuff, you know, first thing, just get rid of the trash. It seems so simple, but I've gone into people's homes, or people have actually sent me pictures of their living area and said, where do I start? What do I do? And when I look, I can always see things that should have been put in the trash. Just put the stuff in the trash, get it out of your house, and you'll have some breathing room to see what you need to organize. You don't know what to organize until all you have left is what you want to organize. You don't want to be organizing trash. If something's broken, if it's stained, if it doesn't fit anymore, that is not something you should be organizing. You should be getting rid of it. So, you know, I'm not saying purge anything you love or purge anything that's a family, you know, heirloom or anything that you want. Just keep what you want. But I bet if you looked at your counters, you could find stuff that could go in the trash or could go to the donation bin. So first thing, clear off the counters. And you know what the biggest counter in each room is? It's the floor. Your floor is a big surface. So clear that floor too. And one person I was helping last year with this, her house was a mess. I mean, it was one of the worst I've seen. It should have been on a show, let's say. But we started in the kitchen, and my suggestion to her, she had actually a window over her kitchen sink, and you know, it wasn't a great view, but it was a view. So we started by just clearing the kitchen sink, just cleaning it up, getting everything out of it. Made a rule that she didn't put anything in the sink, just kept that clean and cleaned up. And she happened to like to sew. So I got her to make a pair of curtains to put over the window with a fabric that, you know, was pretty and she really, really liked. So she had a view that was framed. And what I got her to do is, once that was all cleaned up, just the window, got it all nice, is anytime she felt overwhelmed in the kitchen, because she has kids, you know, life is crazy, right? It's out of control. Whenever she got overwhelmed, the rule was go back to that kitchen sink and just stand in front of it, maybe clean it or do some chores around it, and focus on what she got done and what was pretty in her kitchen. And what she told me a few weeks later is that space began to expand. And from that space of her kitchen sink that was cleaned up and tidy and pretty and a pleasure to stand in front of, it started to get bigger. And before she knew it, the entire kitchen counter was cleared off. Things were put away, things were washed, trash was put in the trash where it belongs. It's surprising how much trash is in people's houses, right? I'm not talking to you, of course, because your house doesn't have trash in it. But for the rest of us, common people, there's things we could get rid of. One time, I got a bee in my bonnet, and I decided that I was going to clean out everything that was given to me for Christmas or birthdays that I didn't really want or use, but I was only keeping it because Aunt Betty gave it to me. And that's, you know, it's a sweet reason to keep it. But I cleared out enough to have 4 complete garage sales. I just kept putting everything in the garage till there was enough, and then I opened the door one Saturday and sold it all. Made a ton of money. But there's so many things that we keep for no reason. Anyway, so if you're going to organize, start with your counters. I have a blog post about that at captainhousekeeper.com. Rubbing, is it true that you can rub lemons on things to clean it? I would only be careful with lemons are acidic, so I'd be careful on any natural surfaces. And I would test an inconspicuous area before I started cleaning with pure lemon juice. If you water it down, of course, you water down the acid. But lemons work really well. What you can use them for, that acid to your benefit, is on the back of your pots and pans where it kind of gets, you know, cooked on, you know, and it gets hard to clean. Just, you can put some salt, which is an abrasive, and then take the lemon wedge and scrub the bottom of your pans, and they should come out pretty clean. That's what I do if I have lemon wedges just sitting around. The other thing I like to do with lemon is put it down the disposal. Freshens it right up. Okay, well, on my to-do list today, I don't know what's on yours, is Thursdays is laundry day. I used to do this thing where I would do some laundry every day, and then it was always caught up, but that was never always caught up. There's just always more. And so I save it up till Thursday, and then I do laundry all day long. And luckily I work from home, so I have that ability. Maybe it's because I used to have to use a laundromat, so I was just used to going and getting it done, and I like having all the clothes done. So I have to do laundry today. And Thursdays I also like to plan out all the meals for the weekend, because I don't like going to the grocery store in the weekend, and I don't like to eat out a lot, even though it's such a pleasure in Houston. And Uber Eats is so easy. But I try to be, you know, healthy or whatever, you know. Now that I'm 30, I have to eat healthier. But, so I'm going to make my meal list and go to the grocery store. And the other thing I need is a haircut. I desperately need a haircut. I'm like 3 weeks past due. But what happened was, I blame everything on that hurricane that hit us last year. Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, and Houston is built, you know, very close to the ocean, and there are a series of bayous which shut off all the water down into the ocean, into the bay. And when there's too much rain, which we got 4 feet of rain over that weekend of Harvey, the bayous overflow. And much of Houston was devastated by floods, as you may have seen on the news. But between me and the person that cuts my hair was cut off. And it was right when I needed a haircut. And it was cut off for a long time. So I ended up going to a person close to me that I used to go to this other person for like 8 or 9 years. So we got cut off, and then life got crazy as people, it took months to recover here in Houston. But finally, today I'm going back to her, and I'm very excited because she does a very good job. So I have to get a haircut today. Very excited about that. The dogs are at daycare on Thursdays. I like to take them Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then they're nice and tired for the weekend, which is always a pleasure. I think that's everything. I got to do my attack plan. What are you guys up to today? There's 8 of you today. Oh my gosh, it's a party. Where are y'all from? I'm going to drink my coffee and wait for you to comment. Usually I panic right around minute 15 and go, okay, gotta go, bye. But I'm feeling like if I just sit here, I don't have to go do my housework. So, hola, April. April's my very good friend from Monterrey, Mexico. Oh, look, Pam's here from Arizona. I love Arizona. I was just reading about your neighborhood in USA Today, Pam. My friends across the street just moved to Arizona, too. Oh, KB's working on a test knit. Chris is from Michigan. Oh, Teresa's at work. Oh. I forgive you, Teresa. I won't tell your boss. I'm glad you're here. And Pennsylvania's here. I love Pennsylvania. It's so beautiful. When I lived in Michigan, hey, Kansas. When I lived in Michigan, I had a brother in Connecticut, and we used to drive through Pennsylvania to get to Connecticut. It was always so pretty. Kansas is nice, too. Because my mom was a nomad when I was a child. We moved and traveled a lot by car. And so I've been to all 50 states. I'm very proud of that. So I know what every one of your states looks like. And Kansas is beautiful. I absolutely love Kansas because of the minimalist feel of just looking out. It feels like you can look forever. It's like being at the ocean without being at the ocean. So I love Kansas too. I'd like to go visit New Mexico this summer. I have family there too. New Mexico is one of my favorite places. When I was a kid and we were nomadic, we'd drive through New Mexico, and I always felt like this, I don't know, this weird, I want to come back here feeling when I get old enough to come back on my own. So I love New Mexico. It's so beautiful. I like big open skies. Some people get freaked out by it. They need to be in the city or in the trees. I visited my friend Maggie in Michigan, in my hometown, Saugatuck. And I was visiting. It was fall. It was breezy. And she had to go bowling, of course, because it was Michigan. And I didn't want to go bowling with her. So I stayed at her house in the woods, and the wind was howling. I was so scared. When I'm an adult. It was dark, I don't like the dark time. So I had to call up my friend Lori out in California and make her talk to me on the phone until Maggie got home because I was so scared. But wind through the woods, it's howling. Gotta watch for the chupacabras, they live in the woods of Michigan apparently. Yeah. My friend April's seen a chupacabra. She told me that the other day. It is scary, Teresa. Teresa says that sounds scary. It's scary, but it's not because there's really no danger. It's just all in my imagination. But, I'm the youngest of 8. I was tortured as a child, so I have a lot of issues. Oh, Chris said, I love the Oval Beach. Well, let me tell you, Chris, that's where I grew up. And we would go to the Oval Beach, which is this beautiful beach on Lake Michigan. On, where's Michigan? Right here. I don't know if that's reversed for you. Here's Detroit. Here's where I'm from. The Oval Beach is this gorgeous, freshwater lake beach. But it's so big it looks like the ocean. If you've never been to Lake Michigan, it's huge. But being on the west side of Michigan, the sunsets there are spectacular. Just beautiful. We would go there. And when I was like a preteen, Mom would take us there, like I do with my dogs, try to get some energy runoff. So we'd go swimming until the sun went down, stop at Tasty Freeze on the way home and get a dip top. Those were the days before video games and you know, motorized vehicles. Okay, I've gone on and on for 20 minutes. I'm so glad y'all showed up. This is fun. You know, remember, just because you're in charge of your house doesn't mean you have to do everything. Delegate and automate whenever possible. And say it with me, no matter what life throws at me, I can make this a fantastic day. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you next time. Bye. End.